Let's just get right into it. You probably think that being super clean is the key to good health, right? Well, what if I told you that our obsessive, super sterile world is actually causing a crisis inside your body? A boredom crisis, to be precise.
Here's the thing. We've kind of forgotten where we come from. Our bodies are ancient machines, you know? They were fine-tuned over thousands of years to thrive in a world that was, well, full of dirt and germs and all the stuff we now spend so much energy trying to get rid of. Living in this bleached, sanitized bubble just isn't what we were built for.
So this leads us to the real problem. What happens when you train an elite military force for constant, non-stop war, and then suddenly there are no enemies to fight? Well, they get bored. And a bored immune system, as we're about to find out, starts making up its own trouble.
I mean, just look at the difference here. Think of your ancestors' immune system as this group of battle-hardened special forces, always on alert, always fighting off real, dangerous threats. But today, that exact same force is, well, it's basically unemployed. It has all this incredible power and training, but no war to fight. So what does it do? It starts picking fights with shadows.
And this is where things get really glitchy for our bodies. So let's talk about the first two signs that your internal security team has officially gone rogue: random allergies and those mysterious aches and pains.
All right, let's start with sign number 1. And I'm willing to bet this is the one that's going to sound really familiar to a lot of you.
All of a sudden, you can't eat peanuts? Or every spring you're a sneezing wreck? Yeah, that's your immune system. It's so desperate for a real fight that it's misidentifying a bit of pollen or your lunch as a deadly invader. It's a classic case of misidentification. We've basically traded fending off actual parasites for the misery of hay fever.
This whole mistaken identity thing also leads straight to our second glitch, which happens on a much, much smaller scale, right down at the cellular level. Ever feel that weird creakiness in your joints for no reason? Well, say hello to your zombie cells. Seriously. These are old cells that should be gone, but instead, they just hang around, refusing to die, leaking this toxic, inflammatory junk. Now, normally, your immune system is the cleanup crew that gets rid of them. But when it's lazy and distracted, these zombies start to pile up, and that leads to inflammation, arthritis, and that general feeling of being creaky.
Okay, on to the next couple of signs. This is where we see what happens when the system starts to fail at its most fundamental jobs. I'm talking about basic repair and, telling the good guys from the bad guys.
Now, our third sign is a little more subtle, but it is a huge indicator that your system is just totally overloaded. It's all about how you recover.
Think about it. You get a little paper cut. It's no big deal. But then, 2 weeks later, you look down and it's still there. That is a massive red flag. It means your immune system's resources are completely tied up fighting imaginary wars. Your body's internal server is lagging because all its processing power is being used somewhere else, so it can't even handle a simple repair job.
But what happens when the system doesn't just get distracted, but actually turns on itself? Well, that brings us to what might be the most serious glitch of all. Sign number 4.
This is the ultimate system meltdown: autoimmune disorders. This is when your bored, totally confused immune system gives up on looking for outside enemies and decides to start a civil war, attacking your own perfectly healthy cells and tissues.
And the analogy for this is just perfect. It's like you install this incredibly advanced, high-tech security system in your house, but for 6 months, not a single burglar shows up. The system gets so antsy, so bored, that it starts to see threats everywhere. And then one day, it decides that you, the owner, are the threat, and it tases you. That is exactly what an autoimmune disease is. It's a tragic mistake made by a system that just has nothing better to do. So let's move on to our final 2 signs. These have everything to do with your daily energy levels and how you handle those common bugs that are definitely still out there.
So let's talk about sign number 5. This is something that I think a lot of us just write off as a normal part of being a busy adult. Do you ever get 8 hours of sleep, a full night's rest, and still wake up feeling completely exhausted, like you're a walking corpse? That deep, chronic fatigue could be your body waving a giant red flag. A bored immune system can get stuck in the on position, creating this constant low-grade inflammation that just sucks up all your energy. It makes every little task feel like climbing a mountain.
And finally, we've arrived at sign number 6. And this one is really the ultimate test of how your immune system is performing out in the real world.
So, a cold or a flu goes around the office. Are you the person who gets absolutely flattened by it for a week straight, while everyone else seems to shake it off in a day or two? A strong, practiced immune system should deal with a common virus so fast you barely even feel sick. If you're getting knocked out every single time, it's a huge sign your system is just out of shape from living in a sterile bubble.
So after hearing about all these glitches, what's the big takeaway here? It's really all about completely shifting how we think about what a healthy immune system actually needs to work right.
Look, it really all boils down to this. Your body isn't some fragile thing you need to protect from the big bad world. It's a high-performance machine. And just like any elite athlete or a race car, it needs regular training. It needs real challenges to stay in peak condition. Without them, it just starts to break down. And all of this leaves us with a pretty challenging question to think about. In this quest we're on for perfect hygiene, have we actually gone too far? Have we sanitized our world so much that we're accidentally weakening the very system that's designed to protect us? So I'll just leave you with this. Is your world too clean?
Ooh, Lady Huxley craves a great time. Ah, ah, go,